If I said to you that Thiago Pinto was not going wild in this transfer market, I would probably be lying to you because he is going nuts. In fact, the probability of seeing GINI Wijnaldum wear a Roma shirt just weeks after we bought Dybala, which was a big transfer market hit for us, the probability of seeing GINI Wijnaldum wear a Roma shirt are increasing day by day. And today's live stream is all about this deal. Now, this deal kind of revolves and rotates around the Fratesi deal, which obviously we will mention in this live stream. But the first thing which I want to say is that GINI Wijnaldum, in his mind, only has AS Roma. He has said yes to Roma's offer. He wants to play for Roma, he wants to leave PSG, and he only sees Roma in his future. He was very close to Roma when he was still a Newcastle player in 2016, and he was also very close last summer when he left Liverpool. But obviously, with the economic power that PSG are, they offered him the amount of money that they did, and then obviously he chose PSG. But now, especially that the staff at PSG has changed, obviously the general director has changed under the name of Campos, and also the manager has changed. Pochettino's gone, and Gautier, ex-Nice manager, is now active. This changed kind of the mentality around GINI. In fact, the team which left for Japan for the preseason, he was left out of this squad. And they just made it clear that Wijnaldum is out of their project. And Roma have shown a lot of interest, and Wijnaldum has also said that he only sees Roma in his future. And he wants to try Serie A experience. He's played in the Premier League, he's played in the Eredivisie under PSV, he's played in the French League. He wants that new experience, he wants to play in the Serie A, and he only wants Roma. And this, in fact, can make the deal way easier, especially if you have a player which wants to join the team and especially wants to work under Jose. We've seen a pattern now. Dybala, Jose gave him a call and he convinced him. Tammy, Jose gave him a call and he convinced him. Jose also gave a call to GINI to try and convince him. However, GINI was already directed in one position. He wasn't kind of, do I really want to go to Roma? He is directed there. He wants his future at Roma, and a Jose call helped himself with this decision. So definitely good news when it comes to that. Now it's to speak about the economic factors with PSG. Now we're going to talk about them in a second, but what I do want to start saying is that our interest towards GINI Wijnaldum has definitely popped up when Thiago Pinto understood that Sassuolo were not lowering the requests for Fratesi, which I think is absolutely insane. Because for a player, as Lorenzo was saying in last week's live stream, no, in Monday's live stream, for a player who last season was his first Serie A appearance, it was his first Serie A season, to value a player 30 million, which I think Fratesi isn't even worth 30 million, to value a player 30 million and to ask a team 30 million, especially after they offered 2 players plus some money, is mental. And Sassuolo were not lowering their requests, and Thiago Pinto kind of followed what he said at the very start. If you don't come up with an agreement by the end of last week, unfortunately, I will not be interested in your player anymore, and I will direct my ways into other objectives. This is where the interest around GINI Wijnaldum started. What I can say is that if we can get Dybala and Wijnaldum in the space of 2 weeks, we are going to fight for top 4. Hell yeah. Like, even top 3, if you ask me. Because what Thiago Pinto's doing, if he manages to end this Wijnaldum deal, ended the Dybala deal, if he manages to buy a top quality defender, that is massive. That is massive. Like, trust me, for someone who's been following Roma every single year and therefore following the transfer market, if we buy Wijnaldum, I've never seen a better transfer market in 16 years of my life, almost 17. So definitely something has changed. Definitely the mentality has changed. Mourinho came, wants to win. And what does that mean? It means that you need to buy top quality players, which don't necessarily cost that amount of money. Because let me speak about Wijnaldum in a second. You know, Roma need to exploit, when it comes to talking about this deal with PSG, they need to exploit the fact that they have got really good relations with the Arabian power of France. The Fredkins and the Al-Khelafi, is his name Al-Khelafi, and the PSG owner are really close. The relationship is very, very, very bonded. In fact, let me talk about one thing, just out of curiosity, to emphasize how much they're close to each other. So, the 6th of August this season, we were actually going to play a friendly match, which it was basically a friendly final trophy. It was called the Gamper Trophy against Barcelona at the Camp Nou in Barcelona, and it was basically a friendly match slash who won a trophy. And Roma actually accepted the offer from Barcelona, and they were there. You know, they were ready. The 6th of August, they were gonna go to Barcelona. However, a few weeks ago, Roma have decided to reject and withdraw themselves from this offer, and everyone was like, "What's going on? What's going on? What happened? Why did they say no to this?" It could have been a good opportunity, facing a top quality team, facing a team, and then potentially winning the first trophy of the season. Why did Roma say no? And apparently, why the Fredkins decided to withdraw Roma from this decision is because the PSG owner, who's, I'll be honest with you, a very arrogant owner, said to Roma to withdraw from the competition because of Super League matters. Because if you remember, last year there was this Super League, going on, created by these big powers, and I still need to find the reason behind this, but it's something to do with the Super League. And the fact that the Fredkins have withdrawn Roma from this tournament, made PSG very happy. And the relationship between the two sides is really, really good, unlike the relationship between Roma and Barcelona, for example. And I think this can be a winning factor, because if PSG don't want him, if the player wants you, and if you've got good relationships, you can find easily an agreement between the two sides to bring Wijnaldum in your court. So let's talk about the economic offers, because PSG have actually agreed to help Roma in this deal. Linking back to the good relationships between us and them, they've actually agreed to pay half Wijnaldum's wages. So they agreed to pay 50% of Wijnaldum's wages. So Wijnaldum currently earns around 8 to 8.5 million euros per season, and the PSG have agreed to pay 4 or 4.5 million of this wages, and Roma pay the other half, which is totally good. However, the only thing which PSG have asked is, obviously we're speaking about loans here, right? He's a player which I would love to buy on a permanent deal, but unfortunately, as I said a few days ago, we need to keep some limits in the players we get in and the players we buy. So we're only speaking about loans here. And when it comes to loans, obviously we wouldn't need to pay PSG because he's still a PSG player. He's just coming on loan to Roma. So PSG have agreed to pay 50% of Wijnaldum's wages, which can help Roma a lot, especially now that we bought Dybala and his wages weren't too low. However, PSG have asked Roma to insert this buyback clause. So if Wijnaldum goes on loan to Roma and Roma are very satisfied about him, Roma need to pay 15 to 20 million to PSG. This is the only kind of economic financial side of this deal which PSG are really asking for. PSG are going, okay, the player really wants you, and I'm totally up to, giving the player to you because I don't need him in my project. And in fact, I will help you to pay his wages. I will pay 50% of your wages, which is a lot. So respect to PSG to doing this. We've got this image of PSG being very arrogant, only thinking about money. Yes, they are that, but they've been really kind here if this deal comes to an end, if Wijnaldum comes to Roma, because PSG are offering to pay 50% of his wages, which is a lot and can help us. And so they've agreed to do that, but they've also agreed and asked Roma to insert this clause where if we want to buy Wijnaldum on a permanent deal, we need to pay 15 to 20 million. Because what PSG are trying to do is basically get him out of the team as soon as possible. Maybe they understood that in the first year it's impossible because no teams want him on a permanent deal. So maybe they've understood that in the first year it's good to loan him out. But then they kind of want the team to buy him back. And this is where they really would like Roma to drop rate that 15 to 20 million clause at the end of the season if they're really satisfied about what Wijnaldum did. I give it to PSG. So this is kind of the entire deal. You know, again, I'm going to say this again. I'm feeling very positive vibes around the air, just like the Dybala vibe. In fact, if you ask me right now, I am very confident. I'm actually going to say to you, if someone came to me and said, Simon, do you think Wijnaldum will join Roma? I would go yes, because I think we've seen how our mentality when it comes to approaching transfer markets has changed. And again, linking back to what Lorenzo said on Monday, within its limits, anything is possible. And if we can get Wijnaldum at the same levels of what Wijnaldum was at Liverpool, we are going to be top 3 contenders. So right now, if we were to get this Wijnaldum deal out of the way, if we would, bring Wijnaldum to our team, our transfer market would be insane. I am really not too sure if people understand this, especially because right now in the midfielder section we only have slow players. Cristante is slow. Matic is slow. Veretout is faster than all of them, but still, he is pretty slow as well. And plus, Diawara is basically going to leave. Darboe broke his ACL in Portugal. This is something we haven't talked about. Darboe broke his ACL. Great news for us, isn't it? Bove is good, but obviously Bove won't start. So we need a player who's a versatile midfielder, who can play box to box, who's fast on the ball, who can score a lot of goals, and can also defend well. This is exactly what Wijnaldum is. If in the midfielder section we can get an attacking midfielder who scores, who's fast on the ball, and a midfielder who's slower, who's more physical, who kind of slide tackles more, that is what variety means. And that can benefit a lot for a midfielder, because right now we've got very similar players to each other. In fact, last time when we played against Sporting Lisbon, in the first half we played Matic, who was very slow. Second half we played Cristante, who's very slow. So Wijnaldum is a perfect hit. Forget about Fratesi, forget about all the players we've been linked to when it comes to the midfielder section, this transfer market. Wijnaldum is the best one yet. If we, and under Jose, Wijnaldum has said he wants to work under Jose because he knows that Mourinho's got the capacities. Mourinho's got the kind of the characteristics. He could potentially get Wijnaldum back to the Liverpool standards, to the Liverpool levels. And if we do that, it would help us massively. So again, I think if we would get Wijnaldum, we would obviously play the same way. Nothing would change, but obviously instead of seeing Cristante and Matic, or Matic and Veretout, or Veretout and Cristante in the middle, I think we would definitely see Wijnaldum and Matic, because especially after these friendly matches, I think Mourinho way prefers Matic over Cristante, especially because he's a soldier for Mourinho. So I think we will see Matic and Wijnaldum start if he comes to Roma. But, contacts between the two sides are going to continue to happen in the next couple of weeks. In fact, in the next week, I think, again, Mourinho has always said this, he wants time limits when it comes to these transfer operations. So if by the end of next week nothing happens, then we will point our eyes on different objectives. But I think I'm very confident about this. I think Wijnaldum wants to join. PSG and Roma have got really good relationships. I think he will join, and it will be massive for us. Also, just to throw in some hints of why Wijnaldum wants to join, 433, the Instagram page, the day they announced Dybala, posted a picture, a graphic of Totti and Dybala together, and Wijnaldum liked that picture. And the second big hint, which is a massive hint, is a Roma fan on this Roma fan Instagram page texted Wijnaldum's brother and asked him, please ask your brother to come to Roma. And his brother answered back going, I will talk to him, with a red heart and a yellow heart. Just to, just show you that I'm not inventing this. Let me get it on the screen. Look at this. GINI Wijnaldum is his brother. That's his brother. Look at that. If you can read that. Let your brother come to AS Roma, please. I will tell him, yellow heart, red heart. These hints are really big hints. Contacts between the two sides will happen. I think this deal will come to a positive deal. And seeing Dybala, seeing Wijnaldum, seeing Tammy, Pellegrini, Zaniolo, all of these players, what a season it's going to be. And every single team should be frightened of us because we're building a very solid side. Again, this deal isn't completed, but if we were to complete this, I need to only say one thing, which is keep up the good work. To Fredkins, to Thiago Pinto, and to Mourinho. Because what these 4 people have done in the last year is insane. Insane. Come on. Get Wijnaldum to Roma. It would help us massively. He would love it. The passion he would make. Everyone would make himself feel at home. Do it. It's going to help us massively. And I would love to see GINI wear a Roma jersey. GINI, come on, you lad. And yeah, so if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the subscribe button. We finally hit 4,800 subscribers. Can't thank you enough. Massively, and let's try and get 5,000 subscribers by the start of the season. So if you're watching this and you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also share the link of my channel with your families and friends. Don't forget to smash the like button in this video and comment in the comments if you think GINI's coming or if you think GINI's not coming. I am definitely GINI is coming. Follow me on Instagram over there in the orange box for for daily Roma updates on there as well, or at Simon lower score, ASR lower score, and I will catch you soon with more transfer updates. Come on, GINI, come on, GINI, come on, GINI, GINI and Paolo, the duo of stars. Sorry about that. Pretty embarrassing.